So, earlier today, some of my friends were at the house, and while they were here, they started talking about global warming and whether or not I thought global warming was happening. So, do you think there's going to be global warming or an ice age?
I like the term climate change, and because I think they're going to have wetter wet places and drier dry places and stuff like that.
Well, throughout the history of the Earth, the climate has always changed. As far as I know, that's an undisputed fact.
Yeah, they can track that with with core samples from the poles that are in ice, rapidly dwindling, of course. But that is
the disputed fact is whether it's going to get warmer or colder.
Like I said,
or whether it's caused by humans or natural cycles.
Both. So I mean, it's my opinion that it's both. We're in a sunspot cycle. It's going up to solar max. The sun, the surface of the sun is burning hotter. It's getting a lot of solar material coming off. A lot of rays. The pole on Mars. If you have a chance to check this out, it recedes and expands at the same rate as ours during Martian winter, Martian summer. They got pictures. Okay, they can show it. You can sit them side by side and they just go at the same rate. And since we're at the top of the biggest solar max, and on top of that we have this carbon dioxide threat, which is out there and very real. And another one about the currents I was talking about earlier is these currents are energy, and there's tons and tons of plastic floating in the Pacific, and I imagine the Atlantic as well, that take energy to move. So an object in motion will stay in motion until affected by another object, but if it's not moving, you have to impart it with energy to get it to move. So that takes that takes energy to get that going, and the current has to have energy to make the loop. So you take the big giant, the gyre of trash in the middle of the Pacific takes a ton of energy to keep rolling, or it would just stop and all the plastic would either bob up to the surface or float to the bottom.
So you're saying that because the plastic is there,
it's slowing
and it takes energy to move the plastic, it's slowing down the natural ocean's currents.
I'm sure of it. I don't know if any science has been done on that, but that I would just by thinking.
Remember this too. It has to get warm in order for there to be an ice age. When it warms up, it melts all the other ice, which causes water levels to rise to move inland.
Mm-hmm.
And once they move inland, and the ice age comes, it'll freeze over. And as long as you have more water constantly coming, it causes it to spread even faster.
Again, that's driven by the current. The caps are kept back by the ocean currents. The warm water coming from the center of the planet around the equator, heated by the sun year round. Right? There's not even it's like it's always getting it. Sends heat to the north, and it pushes back the ice right on the caps, and
then they get the northern current that's starting to it's going to start taking over too, which is forcing it down.
So you're saying that there's always global warming before an ice age?
Yes, it always has to.
Yeah.
They need each other to trigger each other. They need each other.
You can think of it like this: the Earth is a big radiator in a sense, a big a cooling. It's got an AC. The poles are an AC, and when it gets too hot, there's designs. The parameters of the design are put in there to let the ice come down.
In order for us to live, we have to have this cycle, the cycle.
Yeah. Well, and to a point, I think starvation is going to be the major killer soon, and access to fresh drinking water. That's what all the wars are going to be about in the future. People are going to stop fighting over drugs.
Glacial water, though.
Knock on wood.
Also, they say the sun is going to be dying out soon too. It's starting to. Everything's starting to close in inside the core of the sun.
I think so.
And then the sun's going to
explode. Maybe that battery's dead. It's still going right now, though. I think that they couldn't keep that secret. There's just no way. There's no way the powers that be could keep that away from enough people.
Keep what away?
That the fact that the sun could be dying. Now, there also is a lot more information about the sun available now because all these satellites that they put up that are just made to look at the sun. All of a sudden now we got all this imagery of the sun anywhere you want. Click. You got we have nice high def picture movies of the sun in action, and we never had that before. So, all bets are off. They're finding new shit every day about the sun.
Well, how do you know the sun's not dying? I mean,
I don't.
If scientists don't really know how the sun works, how would they know whether it was dying or not?
Mathematicians have studied the output of the sun and the surface, and they look by looking at other stars that are just like it all over the place. They can see how it would behave. And
The sun is only a star. That's all it is. It's just a humongous star.
it's not even a humongous star. It's a medium-sized, very, very plain star. It's not.
It just puts off lots of energy to where
Yeah.
we can't study it like we could other stars.
Oh man, you should see some of the stuff we got now on that. We got a satellite that sits right above it.
There's a core that's not on fire. There's a core.
Oh yeah. Okay, when there's a supernova, a lot of times it creates a black hole. I believe that it doesn't create the black hole, that the black hole's in the middle of the star. It's so massive that the center of it creates a supergravity well. And that when the star collapses because it creates so much iron that it can no longer react in the center, there's a fission reaction or fusion reaction.
Excuse me. Your kitty cat is about to tear up stuff inside there. Can you please go behind him and fix that?
I keep closing that.
I'm sorry, but can you please close it right now because my painting is in there.
Oh.
So what were you saying?
Oh, I lost track. But okay, the big stars are creating, they're forged creating heavier elements. Okay, like fusing the hydrogen down into other and releasing other elements. When it creates so much iron, eventually the iron all settles to the center and it stops this reaction. And that stars will blow up when this happens. Or it eats up all the fuel and the surface of the star collapses inward and collapses until it hits the bottom and then it explodes out. Well, the various ways that a star can blow up. And when they collapse on themselves and blow up, if they're big enough, they can leave a black hole. A black hole is a hole in the space-time continuum. It's a giant, or a gravity well, way bigger than it should be. Super massive gravity well that has no, there's a place, you could call it event horizon, where beyond that, all the laws of nature that we know, like the general model, the Einstein's model, collapse. It doesn't work no more. That's what the problem is. It's like black holes and a certain other phenomenon. The math doesn't work out anymore, and you start getting infinities or errors. And if you're doing math in an infinite number or what they call a irrational number, means that you did something wrong. That somewhere along the way your math failed. And in the center of black holes.
Well, not necessarily, because pi is an infinite number, and you can't say that pi is a mathematical failure.
It's an irrational number. If it comes up, if you're using pi in the equation, is one thing, but if it comes out at the end of the equation that it's an infinite number that happens to mimic pi, then it is a problem. And infinites they bother mathematicians. Not so bad on cosmologists. Cosmologists consider infinite just like super, super, super big beyond our comprehension. So if it comes up like they're measuring shit and it comes up infinite, they just say that's very fucking far. Megaparsecs. That's big. That's big. But yeah, we're probably headed for some ice. Not in our lifetime though.
No.
You don't think the ice age is going to start in our lifetime?
No.
Unless it pulls another day after tomorrow, where it happens quicker than we thought. Then
All the projections seem to be going right along the projected lines, like I saw this one video.
Mother Nature does her thing.
Are you thinking like 100 years or 1,000
In 100
years?
years, in 100 years, there won't be any North Pole ice, and all the big major ice shelves will be gone in South
And then after
Antarctica.
that, there'll be
While they were here, I gave a little demonstration. I'm now going to try to repeat that same demonstration for the camera. Oh no. There's a cat hair in my coffee. I've got to go get it out with a spoon. Pizza, do you want to go out the door? Now imagine that these two pipes are both spaceships. And they're zooming through the universe at warp speed. Zoom, 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 zoom. And this is an alien. And the alien's head is rotating as it watches the spaceships go by. Okay, that's not really part of my demonstration. That was just me, like, fucking around. Like, these pipes are spaceships. Zoom, 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 zoom. No. Seriously, So a few months ago, I'm sure a lot of you remember that it was December 21st, 2012. It's been building up to this for years, that people have been thinking that the world is going to end on December 21st, 2012. And I made a video on YouTube about a year ago, and I talked about time dilation and the galactic alignment that was about to occur on December 21st, 2012, and why the world wasn't going to end, but instead of time getting faster, time was going to start to move slower. That's interesting. They have like a U-Haul pickup truck. I don't think I've ever seen a U-Haul pickup truck. So I made a video about the galactic alignment and December 21st, 2012, where I talked about time dilation and some of Einstein's equations. And a lot of people thought that the world was going to catastrophically end on December 21st, 2012. They thought there was going to be some kind of apocalypse, and some people spent thousands or even millions or possibly even billions of dollars preparing for the disaster that they thought was about to occur. Now, I would like to explain what really happened on December 21st, 2012, and why it's a possibility that instead of the Earth getting warmer from global warming, that instead the Earth might be about to get much colder because of global cooling, because we're going into the next ice age. Now imagine that this cup of coffee is the sun. I'm going to put it right here. This cup of hot coffee, because it's steaming hot, is the sun. And to indicate that it's the sun, I'm going to put this little sun logo on it, next to it. And this jar of pot is the Earth. Let me move this stuff to the side a little bit so you can see. Now, this is the sun, as you can see from the little sun logo, and the fact that it's a steaming hot cup of coffee, so it's hot like the sun is. And this is the Earth. It's got some green in it, like the Earth does. And the Earth, every year, orbits around the sun. Now, a lot of people think the Earth makes a perfect circle around the sun every year. That's wrong. The Earth orbits the sun in an elliptical orbit, which changes its angle a little bit each year. And what I mean by that is, imagine 2 points. This can be point A, and this here is point B. The Earth starts to orbit from here and meets this point, and it comes back around, but it never comes back around to this same point. The Earth changes its angle of orbit every year a little bit, going up, going down. For 26,000 years, the Earth never makes the exact same rotation twice, but every 26,000 years, which is on the day of the galactic alignment, every 26,000 years, the Earth makes a circle around the sun that makes it come into direct alignment with this. And what is this? This is the center of the galaxy. So the center of the galaxy, the sun, and the Earth are in a direct line. And the gravitational pull on the Earth at that point causes the Earth to change its rotation. And that's why the Earth goes into an ice age approximately every 26,000 years. So even though global warming is occurring, the Earth is actually going to get colder because of the galactic alignment that just occurred. There's a strong possibility that we could go into an ice age in the next year or the next few years. So that's why there wasn't like a specific event that happened on December 21st, 2012. It was just the date at which the Earth, the sun, and the center of the galaxy were perfectly aligned. The cat's trying to get in again. I just wanted to say something about this jar.
Oh, start over. Sorry.
Why?
I was recording the cat.
I just wanted to say something about this jar. I got this jar of salsa, Virginia's own cherry salsa, after a fish show in Virginia last summer. Look, it's Virginia's finest.